Hi, this is part 2 in my video series on how to create a virtual band. In this video, I'll show you how to create a student play-along and recording track using GarageBand. Then I'll give you some guidance on how to instruct students how to record themselves. And lastly, I'll show you how to optimize student videos using Handbrake. This video is brought to you by Ingenious Music Ultimate. With a super engaging format, our app develops accuracy and lightning fast speed with note names and rhythm reading, fingerings for every instrument. I'll have a short commercial about that at the end of this video if you want to check it out and learn more about it. I'll be using GarageBand because I'm on a Mac. I'm on a MacBook Pro, and GarageBand comes free with all Mac computers. You can use a different audio editing program and it'll be pretty similar to the kind of things I'm doing here. Now, to record myself talking or playing instruments, I've got this microphone. It's called the Blue Yeti. It's been working awesome for years. On the back here you can see here's some different recording pattern options like stereo and mono. Up here we have the gain, and so you got to make sure that this is turned to the right amount. You don't want it to be too loud or too soft. On the bottom you'll see that it has a USB plug to go into your computer, and then over here is the headphone jack. As you're recording with this, you'll be listening to it through this headphone jack to make sure you don't get feedback. So I'm going to screw this onto a microphone stand so that it's always hands-free. Okay, so I've got that here ready to use. I'm just going to use some standard earbuds. Now for this virtual band, I decided to do a mashup of themes from this book right here. This is the Film Favorites from Hal Leonard. Each theme has both a solo version and a full band arrangement of it. And so the solo version has a nice accompaniment track that Hal Leonard put together. And I chose to do a mashup of different solo arrangements of this just because I wasn't sure how many students I'd get to buy into it. And so I thought it would be a lot easier to put together a compilation of kids just all playing the melody at any given time. Plus, then I can use the accompaniment track to help make the whole thing sound really good. Even if the kids have some issues with tone quality or there's some missing instruments, like it'll still sound like a complete arrangement. Now, if you're going to do a full band arrangement, then you do have to find a way to get a recording of the band arrangement. You can go online and search for how to download YouTube videos, or you can even search for how to download music from J.W. Pepper. You might get someone who's posted about that. But you're going to have to just kind of figure this out on your own or with the help of your school technology person. When I searched for how to download YouTube videos, I found a blog called the 16 Best Apps for Downloading YouTube, something like that. It looks like this. There's tons of different programs you can use or try to use to download YouTube. Now, YouTube doesn't like you to download their videos, but when you're doing a project like this, it's educational and you're doing distance learning, you've got to make this work, you know. So you can download a video or download YouTube videos directly to MP3 and just get the audio track from that. Now you can also take a song and you can record yourself playing the instruments through GarageBand or a similar audio software, and you can record yourself playing the most important instruments and use that. I don't recommend using just a click track, just a metronome track going beep, beep, beep. Your students will not be able to play along with that very effectively. So I've got GarageBand open. I've put a couple of audio tracks and one MIDI track here. I've chosen an organ sound and the MIDI track. More on that in a minute. So I'm going to plug in my Blue Yeti microphone here. Okay, it picked it for me right there. There it is, the Yeti stereo microphone. Yep, that's fine. So let me test the recording level here. As I click on this track, you'll see the little green bars showing that. I'm going to bring the microphone a little closer to me. Testing, testing. Okay, making sure the mute is off, and it's picking me up just fine. For some reason, it's picking up one side more than the other. Let me try to turn it a little bit. I'll turn it to mono. Now, if I bring the recording level up too high, you'll see I'm starting to get red over here. So I'm going to bring it back down to about there. Okay, so I'm going to start off like this. Here's a concert B-flat tuning note. Okay, let me go to this is a MIDI track. I'm going to go up here to window, and I'm going to look at the musical typing. What's cool about this, I can either click on my actual keyboard, the U there, or I can, with the mouse cursor, I can click on it there. Either one works fine. So what I want is a constant B-flat tuning note, so I'm going to click up here, record, hold down the U, and that'll do. If I want, I can do a different octave, click down here to lower octave. Okay, I'll stop recording there. Let me get rid of this. Nice. Now if I double click on this little box here, it'll bring up the MIDI editor. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, the MIDI editor. Now you can see both octaves here. So I'm going to take this one and I can drag it over. Oops. Stay on the same note. There you go. I can drag it over onto the other one here, which I'll also drag over. Okay, I'm going to make this a little shorter. Make it matched about there. Okay. There you go. So if I click up here and I play it now, it plays them at the same time. And eventually this will update and show both notes on top of each other here. So now it shows them with the high note and the low note on top of each other. I'm going to go back in there again. Now you can also, if you're using MIDI sounds to record things, you have this awesome quantize feature here. So I'm going to just drag this a little bit off so that it's not, zoom in a little bit, so they're not matching up there. Say you recorded a whole bunch of notes here, you can drag around, highlight them, go over here to quantize. I'm going to quantize to the 8th note, bam, and it moves all of them to start together on every 8th note, the closest 8th note. So it's a pretty cool feature if you're recording yourself a lot. All right, I'm going to go up here and drag that smaller. So I move it over here. So now I hear this. Here's a concert B flat tuning note. All right, so it'll do that nicely. I'm going to go back up to this track. I have to click on this track, and I'm going to record myself again saying, now I want to hear your voice counting out loud. So everybody get ready to count right now with me. Now how fast are they going to count? We don't know yet until we drag in this track. So I'm in iTunes here, and I'm going to click on Pirates. So I've clicked on GarageBand. Now I'm going to click on iTunes, and here's the Pirates solo track. So I'm going to drag this solo track in here, and it'll bring it right into GarageBand like this. You'll hear it sound like this. Now that's a lot louder than my voice up here, as you can see. So I'm just going to drag this slider down a little bit here, make it not so loud. Whew. Okay. Now I can also make my voice louder by changing the gain on the microphone, which I'm going to do right now. Turning the gain up. And also you saw earlier, click on this button here, adjust the recording level of it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Bring up a little higher. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to bring the gain up on the microphone some more still. I guess I have a soft voice. Okay. Testing. I want to get where it's a little bit yellow, but not getting into the red yet. So that's a better balance. And now when I record, you'll see my voice be louder. I'm going to listen to this track right here. And you can mute the tracks right there if you want to turn the track off at any given time. But I'm going to listen to this while I record up here at the same time. Now I want to hear your actual voice right now, so I want you to count out loud with your voice before you play, okay? So count first at this speed. Bum, bum, bum. Count to 3, ready to go. 1, 2, 3. Nice, now I'm going to count you off and tell you when to play. Get ready to play. So now that I've done that with this track, I know that the count off will be at the same speed as this track, okay? So now I'm going to go back to here. Delete that one, move this over. Make it shorter, here we go. Get ready for your 3 measures of rest. And 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, ready, play. So now that you've done all that, you have some of your voice here, you have the accompaniment, and you have the tuning notes down here created by the MIDI organ. And I've copied it and pasted it, so there's 2 of them right there. So now I can adjust the levels if I need to and make my voice louder I can do that. I can make the accompaniment a little softer. If I want to fine tune some of the volume levels, I can make sure that this is clicked on here where it says show automation, and then I can actually click here and click there, and I can drag this little section louder or this section softer. You can adjust all those kinds of things. One thing for sure is this accompaniment is going to be too long. It's longer than I need, so I'm going to drag this a little shorter here. You can listen and figure out exactly where to be, and then I can also have it fade out here like that. If you click up here, you can drag the whole song shorter so you don't have a bunch of dead silence at the end of it. So I'm just going to show you what this sounds like now from beginning to end. Here's a concert B flat tuning note. I decided to give them some space and give them 2 tuning notes. Now I want to hear your actual voice right now, so I want you to count out loud with your voice before you play, okay? So count first at this speed. Bum, bum, bum. Count to 3, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Now I'm going to count you off and tell you when to play. Get ready to play. Get ready for your 3 measures of rest. And 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, ready, play. Okay, so that'll work nicely for your students to practice with and to record themselves with. And so now we're ready to export this. I'm going to go share, export song to disk, and I can choose whatever title I want it to be. Pirates play along track. And click on export. I like to make it MP3. These other options are higher resolution options, but they take more space and they're not really necessary. MP3 is plenty good high quality for electronic music. So you can export this now. Now, as you're preparing your students to record themselves, you have to continually emphasize they have to have 2 devices and they have to record with headphones. You can make a document for them for this, but it might also be helpful for you to make it like a how-to video. And you can, say you got to have these, you got to have them in your ears as you record because you're going to be listening to a track as you record yourself on a second device. And so emphasize that to your students constantly, make sure they're ready to do this properly. You might have some difficulty getting the students to, after they've recorded themselves, getting their tracks to you. That might be a difficult step. So you have to figure that out also and make sure the students know how to do that. In a worst case scenario, if you can't get your district's online, whatever online system they're using, like Canvas, if you can't get that to work, or tell the students if they can't get that to work, they can always just email you the file. They can just send an email to you of themselves, of their recording. You might have problems with the student's internet at home not being fast enough. Like it might take them 15 minutes to upload their file to you, and so that might be an issue. Maybe they can go to a library to do it where they'll have faster internet speed, or maybe they can go to a neighbor's house. But anyway, one way or another, they've got to get their file sent to you, either uploaded to Google Drive or emailed to you. So there you have it. Your students now have a recording track to use. They have instructions on how to record themselves, and the recording tracks are going to provide great results, we hope. Now we send this off and we wait for the students' recordings to start coming into you. As you start getting the student tracks, recordings turned into you, you'll see that some of them are giant files, big, like over 100 megabytes. And if you're like me, you don't have a ton of hard drive space to hold all that. So you're going to want to use some software to make those files a lot smaller. And so I use an application called Handbrake. It's a free download. You can go and it's totally legit. There's nothing dangerous about it. So you go online, search for Handbrake free download, and go to the actual Handbrake site to download it. You can probably download it from more sites than that, but go to Handbrake itself and download this, and I'll show you what this looks like. So you can see this file I got from this flute player is 89 megabytes. It's less than a minute long, and it is nearly 100 megabytes. Huge file. So when I open up Handbrake, it immediately goes like this and wants to find the video that you're going to use. And so I will go to my downloads folder right there, Pirate Sing Flute, open it, and all these buttons and features look kind of scary and crazy. And the video preview it gives you here always looks weird. Don't worry about that, it's fine. So you can use the preset here on this. There's some presets like go to web, for example. Gmail large might be good to use. Vimeo, YouTube, high quality 4K, so we don't need it that fancy. 1080 would be plenty, so you can click on this. I've created my own preset. You can edit the video encoder, the audio sound, the dimensions, all these things you can edit if you want to here, and then save as a new preset. So I saved myself a preset that has worked out pretty good. It's made them really, really small. So I'm gonna go to general, fast 1080. No, I'm gonna go fast. Let's try fast 720p. Okay, because these files are gonna be you're going to make them smaller on a screen anyway. They don't need to be 1080 each of them. So we'll try 720p. Okay. So I can give this, I can give it whatever name I want. I can click on browse and decide where to save it to. I can save it to my downloads, or I can save it directly to my band Quashup folder, which I've put over here on the sidebar. So you just go up here and click on start, and it will show you down here the progress of this. It'll take about a minute to optimize this file now and make it a lot smaller. It'll still have very high quality video and audio. While I wait for this, I'll show you that. This flute part was in my downloads folder because I downloaded it to my hard drive. But eventually, I'm going to drag all these files to this folder here, the band Quashup folder, which wherever it is on my hard drive, I don't remember where it was. Somewhere in my documents. Let me search for it here. Band Quashup folder. Okay, it's under movies. And then there you go, 2020 quarantine project. So I'm double click on that, and then I have different folders here. The jazz band folder right here, the orchestra folder here. So there's my band Quashup folder right there. So I can take this folder and drag it over here to the sidebar wherever I want. And if I release the mouse, it will put it over here on the sidebar. Then I have easy access to it. As it was, I saved it to my finished movies folder. So let me go there right now. Movies, finished movies, and it should be here at the top. Yep, Pirates Theme Flute. So it gave it the same name. How big is it? 14 megabytes. Okay, so that 720p preset setting made it 14 megabytes. Okay, and you can get smaller than that if you want to. You can choose again over here. You can choose general. You can choose to make it a 576 or 480p smaller. You can go to web and choose some of these presets under web and experiment with these, like the YouTube video 720p 30 means 30 frames per second. That would probably give you some good results here. But if I did it again under my presets, it would be only, I figured out it'd be only about 5 megabytes big, this file. Okay, so I'm going to take it now, and I'm going to drag it into the band Quashup folder, so I have all my recordings in there. Okay, so here I just renamed all the files according to the which particular musical theme they're doing, like You'll Be in My Heart Part 2 by JC. And so here's all of the files my students have sent me. I've renamed them. I've made them all small. This one's just 1.2 megabytes. This one's only 245K. Nice. So these will all fit on my hard drive for a long time while I edit them. So now you've got all the student videos ready to go. You've got them optimized so they're small enough to all fit on your hard drive and use. And so you're ready now to start editing the audio and the video. So look for the next part in this video series. This video series is free on YouTube, but if you want all the tools that I can provide to help you make your own virtual bands, then you can go to Stepwise Publications. You'll find there a virtual band bundle. Okay, you'll find there a product on the store of stepwisepublications.com, and you can purchase that, and that'll give you not only all these videos, these how-to videos, it will also give you a ton of files that you can use. It'll give you some sample documents to use with your students. It'll also give you other useful files like dozens of grids that you can use when you're editing your video to get your students' videos in different configurations depending on how many there are. For example, there will be several grids for 2 for 2 students, and then a bunch of grids for 3, and a bunch of grids for 4 and 5 and 6, and all the way up to, I think, 16 or so different students on the screen at the same time. And it'll give you the step-by-step document on how to do this from beginning to end, from A to Z. Hey music teachers, want flawless sight reading? Ningenious Music Ultimate is affordable and effective. With a super engaging format, our app develops accuracy and lightning fast speed with note names and rhythm reading, fingerings for every instrument, and music theory including keys, key signatures, enharmonics, concert pitch, and more. It's got 35 unique levels. It has 4.8 stars on the App Store. Teachers say, my students keep begging to play Ningenious. Say goodbye to wrong notes. Ningenious Music Ultimate, flawless sight reading.